I think at this point, everybody knows what BJJ Fanatics is. Gary, do you know what BJJ Fanatics is?
Yeah, I think if you're involved in this world at all, you know what BJJ Fanatics is.
Just checking if you haven't been on the rock.
I mean, if it's your second, third time on the mats, you probably don't know. But after that, I'm sure stuff is filtering into you.
But listen, so in November, I had privilege to work with those guys. The Gravity is Your Friend is out there available. But recently, I flew back to Boston to shoot two more. So those will be coming out very soon. If you're searching for my name on BJJ Fanatics, there's only one. Then a couple more are coming down the pipe. Keep your ears and eyes open as the things unfold.
Yeah, bjjfanatics.com. Check them out. Awesome videos. Hey, I'm wondering, do you have a place where we could go to ask all those questions that always come up in jiu-jitsu?
You are lucky. You are very, very lucky. Ask a Black Belt on all podcast platforms, plus our YouTube channel. What I do is essentially I collect questions that you might have and the questions that I've had for all this time being on the mat and record them as a short individual episodes, about 3-4 minutes long, and just put them out there several times a week. So make sure you go, you follow, and tune in.
Yeah, absolutely. Check it out. Subscribe, download, all that stuff, and get those answers to the questions you've always wanted to ask.
Welcome to Raw Radio.
Yeah, we're live.
Here we go.
I'm cranky.
Yeah, I noticed that today.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking at me like...
I'm not looking at you. That's part of the problem.
Well, you should, and then you wouldn't be so cranky.
Oh, my God. And that was a great episode. Let's wrap this up.
It's nice that the tables have turned a little bit. You're the cranky one. I'm full of joy and happiness, and I want to give back to everyone. And you're sitting here with a sourpuss.
Well, listen, I'm just not feeling good. I took a day off yesterday, which doesn't happen often.
No, it doesn't. Why? I mean, don't tell us why. I know why, but why you took it off. But tell us why you don't take them off.
I don't know. Very often. Oh, nice transition to the topic. I see. You're thinking here. I should take more, progressively over the last couple of years, I've been working hard on creating more time for me and for, just not work. But it's hard to do it when you really enjoy being at work. It's hard because true story, right? Yesterday, I'm not doing well. I mean, I'm not feeling well. I caught some kind of bug and COVID negative, by the way, everybody don't freak out. But I had to take a day off. I don't want to be sneezing and spreading crap all over everybody. And first of all, I slept most of the day, but two, when I was up, I didn't know what to do with myself. I legit didn't know what to do with myself. I was pacing. I was walking around. I watched a little bit, something on TV. I got bored out of my mind. I actually went to my office and I started working, but I don't have enough patience because, I'm just not feeling good. I couldn't work. So I went to read a book, but I don't have enough patience to read a book. I was all over everywhere. So,
so what happens to you when you can't work? You get grumpy like this, right?
I do get grumpy.
Yes, absolutely.
I get grumpy.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I think what we're talking about, well, we haven't really talked about it much, is a work ethic. And, I think some people's work ethic is amazing, and other people not so much. And I used to think always about that a work ethic was like how hard you work, but I think it really means how much integrity you have in your work. What do you, the integrity, the discipline, the forethought you put into the things that you need to do, right? Rather than, up at the crack of dawn and you don't stop until it's 10 p.m. and then you crash and you get back up, almost a workaholic type of thing. I think that, a work ethic is more about the actual, what am I looking for? But like the integrity of your work.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean integrity of your work?
Like the importance of it, the
How much pride?
dedication you put into it. I think pride is probably an after effect of it, but like the how much of yourself you put in it for a positive outcome for not just yourself, but the people you're doing the work for. And I think that has a lot to do with it, because I've often seen people in my old career that would come in and they work hard for the time that they're on the clock, but as soon as that time is up, there's no extra effort. Or they're the people that they work hard at what they were hired for. This is my job, but something happened over there and that's not my job. So I'm not going to take care of it.
Saying.
Somebody might see them as having a very strong work ethic because they're on time. They don't call off sick. They do their job well, but it's that above and beyond thing that we often talk about, where, like I said, I've worked in plenty of places where it's like something falls on the floor and that's not my job.
Yeah.
And you know what? Well, the cleaning guy is on the other end of this giant facility and he's not going to be able to get over here. So are we going to step over that for a half an hour? Or are somebody going to take care of it?
Yeah. Well, while they are right, because technically they are correct. Technically they are correct. But my father told me a long time ago, hi, Dad, you don't get anywhere in this country working 9 to 5 and doing just your job.
There you go.
If you want to get somewhere, and I know plenty of people who disagree. I get that.
What do you want to get out?
I get it, but the point, I guess, behind this statement is that you cannot achieve success, or it's hard to achieve success if you check in and check out the way how Alberto Crane, I just recently was on his podcast. By the time this is releasing, his podcast should be up, or it's going to be nearly around that time. So check out Alberto Crane, by the way. But we had a long conversation about that, actually, on his podcast, just culturally, how this country is built when it comes to work. We work to be successful versus a lot of countries, a lot of cultures around the world, they work to enjoy their life. It's two different perspectives, two different goals. I can't speak for entire Europe, but I know in Poland particularly, these guys get 3 months vacations. They have multiple breaks in between. They literally work 4 to 6 hours a day. It's a very different life. Sunday, nobody works, period. Imagine that for a second. Sponge that. Nobody. Everything is closed, including gas station. It's closed.
Yeah. Well, I remember things were like that a lot. When I was growing up, it was a lot like that here. But at the same time, there was always that,
But at the same time, I'm not, listen, and I am not bitching and whining about this country and the opportunities that we have. There is a reason why people are successful in this country. There's reasons why, first generation immigrant can really create $1 billion company. There is a reason why 18-year-old can make billions on internet without, doing much, because there are opportunities that we all can generate for ourselves. Like, I know there's a lot of individuals out there who are laughing at freaking 16-year-old who's on YouTube making short clips, and then somehow, or Instagram is even better, right? These guys who make millions on being, what do they call them?
An influencer?
Influencers, right? But, laugh as much as you want, bitch as much as you want. My head goes off to them because they've done something.
Right.
They've done something when they penetrated the situation to make it successful in their own way. And as long as they are not harming anybody around this, listen.
Yeah. There's a lot of people out there that are working very hard that people don't think they're working hard. And they are. They are. But I also, to go back to what I was talking about earlier, I've been in different industries where maybe the person who technically wasn't the best at the job they were hired for moved up the ladder, became managers, and kept moving up after that because they were the person that would pick up something that fell on the floor. They were the person that would, if the toilet's clogged, right? But they work in the, taking care of animals. Somebody's got to unclog that toilet. I've got 5 minutes right now. I'm going to go do it. And those are the people that, I think have a great work ethic where they hopefully are rewarded for going above and beyond or stepping outside of their role to take care of things for the betterment of everybody else around them.
Yeah.
Those type of people, if you have more of them than the others, I think leads to a great community at that job. Morale goes up, but when you have other people who are, that's not my job. That's not what I was hired for.
First of all, this starts at the top, right? It's the leadership. It's not the management, but the leadership. Those are two different things. But in my previous life, in my career, I had an opportunity to be involved in hiring and firing and being part of teams and things of that nature. And one of the things I always gravitated towards during the conversations of hiring people, or bringing them onto my team, or just even having conversations with my team to this day is, I always think about it. I can teach you any skill, legit. Like, I believe that I can teach you any skill. I might not be the best in a skill, but I can teach you. I can direct you what to do. But I cannot teach you your attitude. Mm-hmm. The attitude is one thing that belongs to you. And unless you show the attitude that fits within the culture that what we're trying to achieve, this just might not be the place for you. Right? So you might not be the most knowledgeable person. You might not be the smartest. You might not be the most skilled. Matter of fact, you might be very clumsy. But if your attitude is not where it needs to be, likely this is going to be hard. It's going to be hard for everybody, not just you, but it's going to be hard for everybody because there is certain personal approach that is needed in order for you to fit within the community. And we are community creatures. Think about this for a second. We belong, our neighborhood as a community, our, Jiu-Jitsu Academy, it is a community, United States, it is a community. There's a reason why we go to, Spain for vacation. Nobody speaks English, but you run into another couple that speaks English because they are from completely different state. You've never met them, and somehow you bond. It is mind blowing. This is why you're at the airport and you see somebody with jiu-jitsu t-shirt and you will start talking to them. Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to go back to a couple episodes. I told that story, but there is something about that. There is why you're going down the aisle in a grocery store and see another guy with a big gear. Say, you train? Yeah, I do. What's up, man?
So are all the people that don't talk to anybody and keep their heads down, are those people that you think are in a community where the work ethic isn't the same as the previous one? Is it?
Rephrase. I don't understand.
We're a part of a community and all these great things can develop from that. It's because we're all like-minded, right? So on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you have a bunch of people who are like-minded who don't go above and beyond, don't feel like they're part of a community, don't have the work ethic that we've been talking about, or they're just putting in the 9 to 5 and then they go home. Mm-hmm. Are things not as fruitful for those people? And I'm not talking about a paycheck. I'm talking about life in general.
No, not necessarily. I think that they gravitate towards like-minded people.
Right.
So that means, if you have no desire, if one has no desire to work above and beyond their 9 to 5 and being an entrepreneur and starting a business and running and grinding and not having Sundays or weekends off, you just want to check in and check out, go home and watch Netflix, relax. There's nothing wrong with that. I want to make that clear. There's nothing wrong with that. But you will likely gravitate towards people who do similar, right? And now your path is going to be just that, which means, well, you're going to probably be very knowledgeable what Netflix has to offer, and at some point you will run out of shows to watch. I have talked to these people. Yeah. Right. And then we're getting into Netflix, then we're getting into HBO, and then we're getting other things, and
Disney
Plus, and it is what it is. Right. But this is the mindset versus I don't know. I think we by nature, humans are very community-driven individuals. Even the intervals, the people who are
Introverted?
introverted, right? There you go. That's the word.
I helped you.
Yeah, I know. Thanks. Even those who are very quiet, reserved, unwilling, or don't want to talk, they don't want to stand out, they will gravitate towards those. But think about it. Think about it again, like going back to the airport scenario, or being in a foreign country. If you need to approach a window and ask somebody who doesn't speak English, or you have another English-speaking person right next to them, who will you go to?
Yeah. Well, here, man. I know people that can't place a to-go food order because they can't talk to another person. They're so introverted, right? And so how does that work into what we're talking about today is I think you need to step outside of yourself sometimes, your comfort zone or whatever, to take on a new challenge, which then I think those are the people that are fruitful. They're fruitful in their lives. And it's silly to say, somebody who can place a food order against somebody who can't, but I think it's anybody who takes a step outside of their comfort zone to benefit others. To go back to what I was talking about, it's not even to benefit yourself. It's if I go over there and do somebody else's job, which it's only going to take me 30 seconds to a minute, it is going to make that person and that person and that person's life easier over the course of the day. Right. And every time you do that, I think it builds something inside yourself, mm-hmm. so that you end up doing that more often, mm-hmm. bigger challenges, bigger risks, mm-hmm. And then you are that person who's moving up the food chain while the people that are maybe more qualified are being left behind.
I agree 100%. And let's be clear on one more thing. Just because you are quiet, reserved, and what is that word? Introverted. You're introverted does not mean that you're not hard worker. Doesn't mean that you don't want to go above and beyond, right? One of the smartest people I've met, the people who talk a very, very least amount. Like it's one person that I know, good friend of mine from way back from a day, like the amount of minutes that he spoke throughout the day at the job was probably, you can count on two hands. Like that's it. He just had nothing to say. But the moment he's in his zone, I mean, this is one of the smartest dudes I've ever met. I mean, so it's not that. It is how do we establish these buckets of how do we connect with people? And more likely you will be connected to people like-minded, mm-hmm. And that's where I think, again, if you are hardworking and you want to go above beyond and you love what you do, that's who you will be gravitating towards. And if you're not, that's fine too. I mean, there's no judgment, at least on my part. I don't care. I mean, it's your life, not mine.
I don't believe you.
I do. Well, I don't. I mean, I don't care.
See, you said you
don't care.
No, I just think that, we always start these things talking about one thing, and it kind of changes direction, goes all these different ways.
Something else. Yeah.
But I think that, again, I think a work ethic isn't how hard you work. I think it's what you do while you're working and how you affect others and seeing it outside of yourself.
Working hard is a very general statement too.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, somebody who is.
What does that mean? You put more time, more effort. You think more.
Well,
you get dirty more. I mean, what does that mean?
The guy that's on top of a roof in July is definitely working harder than somebody who's sitting in an office. Physically harder. So there's a big difference there. But I think
that doesn't mean the guy who's sitting in office is not working hard.
It doesn't. But
he could be working harder from,
it's perspective, it's interpretation, perception.
Right. So,
I just think that, you need to, I think a work ethic is what you do with your time mm-hmm. to benefit the people that are working with and around you. Yeah. That's all. It's not the grind. It's the attitude you have about it.
Yeah. Yeah. No matter where you are, no matter what your dreams are, no matter what you're trying to achieve in life, just go and do it. Just go and do it. Don't wait.
Take that action.
Take that action.
All
Don't
right.
wait.
I'm going to take
Don't
some
wait.
action and hit this record button. Peace.
We haven't been recording?
No,
What?
that's going to turn it off.
Later.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Raw Radio. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave us a review and help us make the show even more amazing. For future episodes, check out our website and follow us on all major podcast platforms. Take care.